There are several important benefits for mesothelioma patients who decide to participate in clinical trials. Clinical trials play a vital role in the development of new treatments, and they offer hope to many patients diagnosed with this difficult-to-treat cancer. The primary goal of clinical trials is to test new therapies and treatments to see if they are safe and effective for mesothelioma. However, participating can also provide some direct benefits to patients as well as helping future patients. One major potential benefit is that patients may gain access to new therapies that are not yet available outside of a clinical trial. Many new drugs, combinations, or treatment approaches are only tested initially through clinical trials as researchers work to improve outcomes for mesothelioma. By participating, patients have an opportunity to receive a new therapy that may work better for their specific type and stage of cancer compared to standard or already approved treatments. Although there are no guarantees, some patients do experience positive responses or stabilize their disease through these investigational therapies that otherwise may not have been an option. In addition, clinical trials allow patients to help advance medical research and new discoveries for mesothelioma, which can help future patients. Without participants volunteer to be involved in clinical studies, researchers cannot properly evaluate or improve upon potential new treatments. By contributing to a clinical trial, patients play an active role in gaining knowledge that may one day lead to better therapies or possibly even a cure for mesothelioma down the road. Many important standard treatments used today first had to be studied in clinical trials, so current and future patients benefit greatly from those who make the choice to participate and help expand our understanding of the disease. Staying under the care of clinical trial researchers and being more closely monitored is another benefit. Patients involved in trials receive very careful medical attention and oversight from an entire research team. This level of monitoring may allow cancers or side effects to be identified earlier than they otherwise would outside of a trial. Patients also benefit from interactions with clinical staff who specialize specifically in mesothelioma treatment and research. Additionally, participating in a trial ensures consistent and dedicated access to the physicians overseeing the study and care plan. This close monitoring and care coordination would not be possible receiving standard treatment from a community provider alone. The clinical trial process also often involves additional tests, exams, and imaging scans. While undergoing additional procedures, this close monitoring can allow diseases to be detected earlier. It can also provide patients and their doctors more information about their type of cancer and how it is responding or changing over time. Some clinical trials even offer genetic testing or biopsies to learn more about the molecular characteristics of a patient's specific cancer. The information gained from extra testing and monitoring as part of a clinical trial could one day help identify biomarkers or characteristics that predict who will respond best to certain therapies. From a financial perspective, participating in a clinical trial provides the investigational treatment, related medical care, and often medications at little to no cost to the patient. Many clinical trials cover the entire cost of the new treatment, doctor visits, lab tests, scans, as well as travel or lodging expenses associated with trial participation. This removes a huge financial burden for patients already facing high medical costs from mesothelioma treatment and follow-up care. Even for patients with health insurance coverage that does not always cover all mesothelioma therapies, a clinical trial becomes a free treatment alternative. The out-of-pocket costs saved through a clinical trial can help take some of the stress out of managing a cancer diagnosis and focus on healing. Perhaps one of the biggest potential benefits is having access to a broader team of medical experts focused specifically on mesothelioma. Many clinical trials are run through leading cancer centers or consortiums of hospitals and research facilities with years of experience and specialists dedicated to rare cancers like mesothelioma. As new therapies are studied, these expert research teams are at the forefront developing treatments. Participating in a trial provides patients access to these top experts, advanced resources, and customized care planning versus receiving standard care from a physician without mesothelioma specialty training. Being treated at an institution conducting clinical trials also often means access to knowledgeable nurses, dietitians, social workers, and other support staff well-versed in addressing the unique needs that arise with a mesothelioma diagnosis and treatment journey. The psychosocial benefits of being involved in a clinical trial should not be overlooked either. Many patients report that enrolling gives them a sense of empowerment and hope at a difficult time. They feel they are actively fighting the cancer versus passively receiving care. Support groups are commonly available to participants as well to help address concerns, share experiences, and gain encouragement from others on a similar path. Clinical trials also provide patients the opportunity to connect with and support advances that could help future generations by contributing valuable information to researchers. Facing cancer is never easy, but for many, participating in clinical research aimed at finding better treatments or a cure brings a sense of purpose during treatment. While each person's situation is different, for many mesothelioma patients, the potential benefits of enrolling in a clinical trial outweigh the risks. There are certainly no guarantees of directly benefiting medically, but neither are there with standard-approved therapies either. However, ongoing clinical research represents continued progress for this cancer with a historically poor prognosis. Patients who chose to volunteer add to the collective knowledge that will benefit current and future patients. Each person who participates pushes science and medicine closer to more effective mesothelioma treatments or management approaches. For those willing, clinical trials provide oversight from expert teams and access to the latest investigational therapies which may help extend and improve quality of life both during a trial and beyond by contributing to discoveries still to come. Mesothelioma clinical trials aim to not only test new therapies but also provide better care, monitoring, and support for participants. While challenging, enrolling gives patients access to top researchers, specialized screening and expertise, and investigational treatments otherwise unavailable. It also allows them to play an active role in medical progress towards improving outcomes for others diagnosed in the future. For motivated patients able to meet study eligibility criteria, the numerous potential medical, financial and psychosocial benefits of clinical trial participation usually far outweigh any risks involved given limited standard treatment options for this cancer.